And we have a huge fire on the pit lane. It looks like it's right down around the Eric McClure
We got a guy
pit
on
area.
fire too behind the wall.
Oh my goodness.
Reed Sorensen's car came to a halt on pit road.
These are the wildest fires we've ever seen on a NASCAR track. It's been 7 decades since NASCAR was founded. What are NASCAR races without crashes? And then what are crashes without wild fires? NASCAR fans have witnessed fire incidents that have everyone on the edge of their seats. NASCAR races are notorious for engine failures and crashes. Here they are. Kyle Busch's wildest fire got us scratching our heads. Kyle Busch was involved in a significant collision. However, he was able to bring his vehicle to a stop, and the responding firefighters assisted him in getting out of the vehicle. He was not seriously injured. Alex Bowman's car on fire. Alex Bowman's number 7 car caught fire around the front tire approximately 1/3 of the way through the high-speed 300-lap race, which brought the race to a screeching halt and brought out the caution flag. Alex Bowman was enraged as a result of that. However, what made the situation even more dire was the reaction of the NASCAR safety crew. To begin, a number of NASCAR analysts, as well as Bowman himself, expressed their displeasure with the amount of time it took for the crew to reach the car, which is especially surprising given that the car was located so close to the pit road when the fire started. The pit road crew have also had their fair share of incidents. The gas cannon use caused Brendan Gaughan's car to catch fire as it was pitting. In the pit, where Anthony O'Brien was working, a massive fire broke out. He was replacing the unusual tire. Officials believe that a lug nut from the car ignited the incident, which was difficult to follow because a pit box was completely consumed by flame. The incident began when Gaughan's fuel man spilled some gas, according to officials. Clifford Turner, a member of McClure's crew, attempted to put out the fire while lying on top of a member of Gaughan's crew, but instead of being burned, he inhaled fire extinguisher fluid. Philip Rod's car explodes into a fireball. These got us thinking, were there some fireworks inside this car? Bobby Lamonte's crash. Casey Mears and Johnny Benson came into contact with one another, and Johnny Benson slides up the track and into Bobby, causing Bobby to spin out and hit the wall, which ultimately leads to the vehicle catching fire and being destroyed. If you think fire explosions are bad, then wait until you see an engine explosion. Mike Harmon's engine explodes and safety workers rush out to help. Dale Earnhardt Jr. takes a hard hit into the wall on the first turn, which causes his teammate Jimmy Johnson to sustain some damage. During the 12th lap of the race, Earnhardt's Chevrolet number 88 ran over some grass on the front stretch, which caused the left front tire to burst. While he was struggling to make it to turn 2, he crashed into the outside wall, and his car caught fire. Will there ever be an end to this? Not in the near future. During the qualifying session for the NASCAR Xfinity Series at Atlanta Motor Speedway, Mike Harmon runs into some problems. During the first round of qualifying, the engine of Mike Harmon's car, number 74, blew up, which caused the car to catch fire. Sadler's vehicle slammed head-on into an interior wall with dirt behind it that was not shielded by the safer barriers, also known as soft walls, which are the norm for almost every section of every track. Sadler's entire engine actually came out of his car due to the force of the impact. As he emerged from his car's wreckage, Sadler winced in pain and immediately collapsed to the ground as safety personnel arrived. "I'm okay," he said, after being released from the infield care center. "I'm a little sore. The breath definitely got knocked out of me. It was probably the hardest hit I've ever had in a race car, but I've got to thank all my guys back at home that put these things together. I'm still in one piece, so it did its job." Sadler said he wasn't sure what happened in the wreck, which was started when Jimmy Johnson got into the back of Kurt Busch ahead of him. Even Juan Pablo has had his own fair share of incidents. NASCAR fans were stunned when Juan Pablo Montoya smashed a jet dryer under caution during the Daytona 500 in Daytona Beach, Florida, sending a ball of fire into the sky. Before the crash, he had complained about a bad vibration in every gear. NASCAR ordered the jet dryers onto the track during a caution lap to ensure that the track remained rain-free and safe for competitors. Montoya was driving far too fast during a caution to catch up to the pack, knowing that the green flag would appear sooner rather than later. When something went wrong and he lost control of his car, he was going too fast for him to control. He slides off the track and collides with the jet dryer, the truck pulling it, and all the spilled jet fuel, which ignites when it comes into contact with something hot. 200 gallons of jet fuel spilled onto the track, and crews worked quickly to clean it up. But before long, something sparked and ignited the entire pool of fuel running down the track. Jamie McMurray crashes at Pocono 400. During the Sunday's Pocono 400 at Pocono Raceway, McMurray crashed hard as his Chip Ganassi Racing Chevrolet burst into flames. Jamie McMurray hits the wall in turn 3, setting the number 1 car ablaze. McMurray eventually climbs from the car uninjured. McMurray was able to get out under his own power. Smoke balls are also not an exception when it comes to fire incidents. Wild smoke coming out of the hood of this farmer's Chevrolet. The Chevy goes up in flame. Brad Sweet's car sets on fire. Brad Sweet wasn't clear of Jeb Burton on the backstretch and his car paid a heavy price. Sweet made contact with Burton and his car went careening into the outside wall during Saturday night's Nationwide Series race at Kentucky. The force of the collision was so great that Sweet's car continued to coast down the backstretch with the right front wheel sheared backwards. When Sweet came to a stop on the backstretch of the race, the collision must have dislodged an oil line in the engine because a fire broke out underneath the hood at the same time. He managed to escape the burning vehicle unharmed just in time for the fire suppression system to put out the blaze. David Gilliland crash. David Gilliland had the throttle matted down and his car near the outside wall. He was hoping like hell to avoid the spinning car of Justin Allgaier. Allgaier was coming up the track too quickly, and Gilliland had nowhere to go. The result was a vicious collision on the front stretch at Kansas Speedway on Saturday night that totaled both cars. Gilliland hit Allgaier's car so hard that his car got airborne and subsequently caught on fire. After both cars came to a rest, both drivers were able to walk away from their damaged cars. A fire broke out in Denny Hamlin's Toyota during the Quicken Loans 400 at Michigan International Speedway. Hamlin was in position 14 when his Toyota skidded out of control. Hamlin's vehicle collided with another off turn 4 at MIS close to the pit lane entrance, causing the accident. Before assistance could arrive, fire had already engulfed Hamlin's car as it came to rest in the center of the pit lane and in front of the main grandstand. He left the race a little overheated and very disappointed after his car broke down on lap 133 and caught fire as it was being towed into the pits. For the driver of the Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota, it was a dramatic end to an awful day. "I've never actually been in that position before," Hamlin said. "I'd seen it with other guys, but I've never known what it's actually like. But it gets hot. I thought for a second there I was okay. The fire was just in the back, and then something exploded in the front, and it caught on fire. Thankfully, we've got everything that we have safety-wise. One good thing at least is that Ryan Newman's guys came out and got me out, and a couple of the 18 guys. NASCAR is a family, and anytime anyone is in trouble, everyone is going to try and help. It's good that those guys were around and willing to take a chance."